everybody. We're only about a week into the 2021-22 NHL season, but I want to talk about the team that to me has been the most impressive out of the gate so far, and that is the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh Penguins have started their season 2-0-1 without Sidney Crosby, without Evgeni Malkin, with Jake Guentzel missing the first game. They've still scored 15 goals already through their first 3 games. They're averaging 5 goals a game. They've got a +6 goal differential. And they started out with a very tough road trip down in Florida against the defending champion Lightning and then playing the Florida Panthers. And Pittsburgh is just getting it done and really, really impressing me with the way that they've played so far. And, I mean, when we look at what they've done, going out on the road to start the season against 2 of the best teams in the Atlantic Division, absolutely trouncing the Lightning on opening night, and just destroying Tampa Bay, running them out of the building, winning that one 6-2. Then they go to Florida and play a very tough Panthers team who's also off to a very good start. And they lose to them in overtime, 1 goal. It was a great game. And then they go back home and they play against Chicago. And granted, Chicago's not off to a great start, but they play at home against Chicago and they run them out as well and win that one 5-2. So they've got a 6-2 win over the Lightning. They've got a 5-4 overtime loss against the Panthers, and then they have a big home win over Chicago 5-2. They've got 15 goals for already, and they're doing this without Sidney Crosby and without Evgeni Malkin. They're 2 best players, and to me, that's what really makes this, even more impressive and even more special, is that they're doing this without Crosby and Malkin, who, if you take the top line center and the second line center away from most teams around the league, that's spelling a lot of trouble. And that's going to doom that team most likely, but not with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this is how Pittsburgh has been. It's like nothing really phases them, and they can just deal with injuries and deal with issues. And at least in the regular season, still have no problem being a successful team. And we're seeing that right out of the gate already this year. I mean, it's only been 3 games, but what they've done to me is so impressive where, you take those guys out of the lineup and Pittsburgh's just like, all right, no Crosby, no Malkin, no problem. We're just going to keep scoring. We're going to keep winning. And they still haven't lost in regulation. And there's a lot of teams off to good starts. I mean, if you look at the standings right now, there's a lot of 2-0 teams. There's a lot of teams that haven't lost in regulation yet. But to me, the most impressive has been the Pittsburgh Penguins because of who's out of the lineup and because of the quality opponents that they've played. I mean, Chicago isn't looking great to start this year. There's no question about it. But there was a lot of hype around the Blackhawks coming into this season, especially after the Seth Jones move and, Jonathan Toews coming back and Marc-Andre Fleury in goal. And, I mean, they chased Marc-Andre Fleury out of that game like that. I mean, 4 goals on him like it was nothing, and Fleury was out of that game. And, I mean, talk about impressive. And then obviously the 2 road wins to start, or the road win and the OT loss to start the season on the Florida trip. I mean, to come out of Florida with 3 out of a possible 4 points against 2 extremely good teams in Tampa Bay and the Florida Panthers, and to do that without your 2 best players, to me, I mean, I don't think I haven't seen anything yet more impressive this season from a whole team standpoint, and just the offense that they're still able to come up with without Crosby and Malkin. I mean, you're talking about, over point per game players out of the lineup. Their top 2 centers out of the lineup, and this team is still scoring 5 goals a game without their top 2 centers. I mean, that is nuts. That is nuts. They're scoring 5 goals a game without their top 2 centers. And obviously it's early. Obviously it's only been 3 games. We'll see if they can keep this up. But so far, I mean, this has been a really, really impressive performance from the Pittsburgh Penguins out of the gate. And it makes you wonder what's going to happen when Crosby and Malkin come back. How good can this team be? Are they going to get better even from where they're at right now? Now, they're not going to average 5 goals a game all season long. That's ridiculous. I mean, the top scoring teams in the league last year were about 3.5 goals a game. So they're obviously not going to average 5 over the course of the entire season. But it's just, the offense that they've been able to put up already this year has been really, really impressive. And their ability, I mean, they've got both of their wins have been blowout wins. The 2 games that they won have been blowout wins, and their 1 loss is an overtime loss. And, it really makes you wonder what's going to happen when Crosby and Malkin do come back and how good this team can be. And it also, you got to wonder how long can they keep this up? Like, are they going to be able to do this for a full month? Are they going to be able to do this for full 2 months? Are they going to be able to, continue this, and be a high-level team at this level all season long? Is this just a hot start? What's going on here? What's sustainable here for the Pittsburgh Penguins? But, talk about coming out of the gate strong. And this is a team that's been ready to play from the drop of the puck this season. And to me, that's been really fun to see and really, really impressive. And again, there's been some really good starts around the league. There's a lot of 2-0 teams right now. But the most impressive to me has been what the Pittsburgh Penguins have done without Crosby and Malkin, with Gensel missing the first game. And it just hasn't phased them at all. It hasn't slowed them down. Their offense is on fire. They're winning games. They've gotten 5 out of a possible 6 points to start the year. And this is a team that I'm going to be watching closely here over the next couple of weeks. Can they keep this up? Can they keep this rolling? When's their first regulation loss going to come? Who's it going to come against? And then obviously down the road when Crosby and Malkin come back, Crosby's going to be back a lot sooner than Malkin. But when they get those guys coming back into the lineup, how is that going to affect things and how is that going to change things? So it's very, very early. There's still a long, long way to go. Nobody's won or lost anything yet. But out of the gate, I think for me, the most impressive team has been the Pittsburgh Penguins, with the wins that they've been able to get and the quality of opponents that they're facing and how they're doing this with who is out of the lineup. To me, that all that comes together to make Pittsburgh, I think, the most impressive team so far. And we'll see if they can keep it up, but it has been a great start for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys soon.